Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you guys how to pot up your plants that you've started inside. It's important to pot up because they get to the point where they need to spread out a little bit more, and so the ones I'm going to do today are my beefsteak and my Cherokee purple tomatoes. So with these, you don't want to pot up until you get your true leaves. Now, true leaves are what is like the second set of leaves that come out after they have germinated. When they first pop up, they'll have these little leaves here that are your first leaves. And I'm drawing a blank on what the word is for those. But after they come up, you'll start to get your leaves that are going to be on there for the remainder of your harvesting season. So these are ready. A lot of them are. Some of them aren't, but a lot of these are ready to be transplanted up because they do have their true leaves on there. So I didn't want to overcrowd them, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Also, y'all can hear my friendly donkey in the background, my neighborhood donkey. Anyways, so some of these actually have 3 and 4 plants in each cell. That's because a lot of times I'll put 2 or 3 seeds in each one just to give me a greater increase in germination. So that's why it looks a lot fuller. It's better to go ahead and put 2 or 3 seeds in each square so that you can have a greater chance of having germination. All right, so when I'm getting ready to pot up, I use either like solo cups or really any type of cup you have that's going to be larger than what is the cell. I have a ton of these things that I've gotten from farmers markets and other gardening stores in the past, and I just keep them. Every time I get a new plant, I'll just keep these because the holes are already drilled in there for you. Whenever I use solo cups, I have to drill the holes or punch the holes through, so this is just saving me time. And so these are the ones I'm going to be using for today. I have some other ones too. These are a little bit bigger, these square ones I've gotten at farmers markets. So I'll use those if I need to. But that is what I'm using for my transplants here. All right, something else I want to make sure I have handy are labels. I used to be really bad about this. I'm still like have to remind myself each time to make sure that I label, because I hate whenever I get to the garden where I get to the point where I'm getting ready to put stuff in the garden and I'm like, wait a minute, that looks different from all these other ones. So make sure that you can label, you have your labels close by. Another thing I use is actually just a butter knife whenever I'm getting these out of their cells. This is the easiest thing to try to use because you can just go along the edges to get them out and then put them right in, and it's really easy to do it that way. And then I'm also going to have my potting soil. I don't need seed starting soil at this point because the seed starting soil was where all the nutrients were. Now I just need the potting soil. It has nutrients in it, of course, but it's not trying to get those seeds off and going. They're already on their way. So here we go. What I typically do is go ahead and put a little bit of soil in the bottom of my pot or whatever container I'm using. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one right here, the one I was originally showing you guys, because it is ready to go. Okay, so I just put my little seedling into the soil, and I'm just going to whenever I go to water this, I'll show you what I do. I like to water from the bottom because that's where water naturally like if this plant is out in nature, water is going to be absorbed through the roots. So I will be putting this in a tray with all the other ones, and then I'll put water in the tray so that the water can seep up through the roots and go through the stem and get what it needs. So he looks like a little guy still, but I think he'll be happier and ready to flourish a lot better once, now that he's in this. So that is our first one. I'm going to keep on doing this, and we will go from there. I haven't gotten them all done yet, but this is all I can hold in one tray because you know I have bigger containers now. So I'm going to fill this tray, the tray here, with water. I like to do about a half of an inch of water on the bottom so it'll start to soak up. And I'm just pouring it into the actual tray, not the cups with the plants in them. Alright, so now I'm going to put this back under my grow lights inside because they need that constant light, or not constant light, they need about 12 to 14 hours a day, sometimes 16. I do 14. I kind of go between the 12 and the 16 hour range there, and I do 14 hours. I go from 8 in the morning to 6 in the morning till 8 at night. So I have my lights on a timer so that they get the amount of light that they need. And I'm just going to make sure that these are getting soaked up, and you'll start to see that the tops of the soil is starting to get wet looking, and that means that it's getting what it needs. I'm going to transplant some more of these. Some of these aren't ready to transplant yet, but I'm going to transplant the ones that need it, and that will be my task for today. I have some peppers I think I'm going to go ahead and do this too, and some eggplant. But that is how to pot up your plants.